Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? It's Mike Barletta back with another update on the potential tropical cyclone 9 likely to develop into a tropical storm soon. Before we get into it, if you guys could make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, that would help me out a lot. I put a lot of effort into these videos, but without further ado, let's get right into it. So potential tropical cyclone 9 drifted a little further southwest than we initially anticipated. More tropical storm warnings have gone up since my last update all along the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Some tropical storm watches for some of the Bahama Islands as well as the southern Dominican Republic. Now we are expecting this storm to begin to track to the west-northwest, go right over the Dominican Republic and kind of tread along Cuba. This is the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center from 8 a.m. Eastern Time. The track has shifted a little bit further west from central Florida to western Florida at this point, and we'll get into why that is in just a second. So this is the most recent IR scans, infrared scans from the almost tropical storm. As you could see, much better, much more well-defined than the last couple days. We might finally be starting to see a center of circulation somewhere within there to the southwest of a lot of the Leeward Islands. Initially, we thought this was going to go right through Puerto Rico, but with this southwest movement that we've seen over the past few hours, we're expecting this to drop to the southwest of Puerto Rico. Currently, this has a much better look to it, from negative 70 degree to negative 80 degree cloud tops, a lot of convection blowing up in the center. So with that, now that convection is really over the center, that's when we expect these pressure drops to begin to occur and the possibility of a low-level center forming, and that's how we get a tropical storm. Currently, this does have tropical storm force winds. The problem is there's no defined center of circulation, hence why it has yet to be named a tropical storm yet. But I'm expecting that to change later today into possibly tonight. We'll see much better look on this storm than yesterday. Now, why has this yet to develop into what we expected at this point, and why have we drifted a little further southwest? Even from this eye was the position a few hours ago. The position is now around here to the southwest, so a real big drop to the southwest, and I believe that has a lot to do with this wind shear pattern. There's a lot less wind shear to the southwest of the system than to the north, so it is consistently dropping further and further southwest. Now eventually that will change with the trade winds, but we have a lot of shear to the north of this system, which is why, big reason why it's such a large system. A lot of the outflow is just being funneled by this shear, which in a developed system is not bad. In a system that is still developing, it could hurt it a little bit. It's a little more difficult to consolidate, but this type of wind shear in a system that's already developed isn't that bad, because you're getting a lot of this outflow to allow the storm to breathe. But when a storm isn't even formed yet, that is not too helpful for it, as what it really needs to do is consolidate, especially a storm that's this big, nearly 1,000 miles wide since the last time I checked. So this shear has definitely played a role. The shear not just to the north but to the south as well. These red colors are strong wind shear, not conductive for tropical development, and even though the center is in an area that is conductive for tropical development, that shear is kind of stretching the system out a little bit. So another reason why we likely have not seen the development of this system yet, and that eye should be placed right around here at this point, is because of some dry air. There is some dry air, Saharan dust to the north and west of the system. The system's done actually a pretty good job of fighting it off. Outflow looks really, really good now, kind of shielding this storm from dry air, but nonetheless still not the best development. Especially out in front of the system, you'd like to see a warm, moist environment, not all this dry air, which could be inhibitors for development later down the line. Now, just quickly getting into sea surface temperatures, they are plenty warm enough as this tracks to the northwest. They are plenty warm enough for tropical development and strengthening. Sea surface temperatures aren't everything, but just thought I'd point that out, that the sea surface temperatures are not really the reason why this storm has been struggling to strengthen. So quickly getting into some models here. These are European Ensemble. They have done a great job with this system. besides in the very beginning, a lot of them were strong through the Bahamas, but they have since backed off on that since a few days ago. They are great. They did a great job with predicting the track right through the Dominican Republic and Haiti. So that, thankfully, is likely what is going to kill this system off. If it doesn't develop by the time it gets to the Dominican Republic and Haiti and south of Puerto Rico, it likely will never develop. Unless there is another option. If this storm tracks a little further to the north through Puerto Rico, that has become less of a possibility over these past coming days and hours as the system continues to shift southwest from the last projections. But nonetheless, that possibility is still on the table, and you could see these few members that do go into Puerto Rico and North Puerto Rico keep the storm a little bit stronger than the rest of the family and curve it towards the United States. So it's something we're definitely going to have to keep an eye out on. If this storm does go through the Dominican Republic, it is going to have a very difficult time strengthening and then trying to reorganize. Some of the members are able to strengthen it a little bit, but I do not believe that is going to be the case. There's going to be a lot of land interaction, and overall, for a system that's not developed, it's going to be very hard to begin to develop when dealing with land. So this follows the National Hurricane Center track very well. Track right through Haiti, just north of Cuba, and right to the west of Florida. Most of these members agree on what's going to happen. A few outliers that we definitely have to keep an eye on, but regardless, that's where we're at this point. So these are the Gfs ensembles, a little bit different, have not been handling the system as well, but worth noting. None of them take a track right through Puerto Rico, but there are a few that take a track just to the north of the Dominican Republic, and that's really what we're going to be watching over this next day or so is, will this track to the north of the Dominican Republic? And if it does, you could see that a lot of these members begin to curve this system up the coast and strengthen it as it happens. A lot of these members are showing these oranges and yellow colors that are indicating a strengthening storm, possibly a hurricane, moving towards the United States. So that's something we're definitely going to have to watch over the coming days. You could see the few members that go south of this black line really just kill the system, as I stated before. So it's something we're definitely going to have to watch. The GFS is a little more enthused with these members coming up the coast as opposed to the European ensembles, which did not have as many. But regardless, something that we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on. So last little thing I want to talk about here, there was just a recon plane in this system not too long ago, I think about a few hours ago, and it has still yet to find a low-level circulation. As you could tell by these, it was trying to make a few passes, didn't really find anything, and got out. There's another plane going in there now. I expect them to find a little bit stronger of a storm, possibly this development of a low-level circulation. We'll see, as that center has, last time they believed it was here, that has really dipped to the southwest, in my opinion, under all the convection. So that should begin to start to develop a low-level center. We'll see what the recon plane finds. But as you could see, a lot of tropical storm force winds out there already, as denoted by those greens and yellows. Those are tropical storm force winds. So right once the low-level center does form, we will have our 9th tropical storm of the season. Now, unfortunately, that's all I have for you guys today. I'm sorry I had to make this video so early. You probably won't see it until later in the day, but I'm making this currently. It's 8:30 Eastern Time, so I'm not going to have the latest updates today, and that's because I'm going away until Friday. So unfortunately, I won't have any more videos until Friday at the earliest, probably Saturday, making an update, but that's why you guys got to follow me at Mike B. Weather on Twitter and Facebook. That's where I'm going to have the majority of my updates. That will be updated constantly, even though I am away, keeping you guys in the loop of exactly what's happening, my thoughts and analysis. So if you guys could hit that like and subscribe button, that would help me out a lot. You guys have an awesome day, and I'll be back soon with some more content.